Hello. Hi. What is up? Thank you for watching this stream. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. Shout out to Back from Dead already hanging out. How you doing, man? Thank you for being here. And this is a little impromptu thing again, doing different stuff on the channel, trying different things, right? Lots of news today. So I figured, hey, why not? Why not just like go live and let's just like dive into some of this stuff. We got Xbox Ultimate podcast tomorrow, but that's not enough to be able to talk about all this stuff. So we got stuff. So welcome to Fun Speculation on YouTube. My name is Mav. If you're new here watching this after the fact, or you end up stumbling in here live, whatever, thank you. Appreciate it. Guys, yesterday we had another one of these. And we talked about, hey, another acquisition from PlayStation. Like, whoa, that's big news. And guess what? They got Bluepoint Games now, which was, people have been assuming this was going to happen for a long time. And it's official now. Bluepoint is now officially part of PlayStation Studios, but that's not all. They have also said that they are working on an original project. That they want to, their next project they want to be an original game. So no, as far as remasters and remakes, it doesn't look like that's what they're going to be doing. It looks like they're going to be making a new original IPs. So that's definitely an exciting thing. Props to Sony on the getting a Bluepoint as part of PlayStation Studios. I think it's a great fit. It makes a lot of sense. And also, a great studio, right? I mean, they make good games. So that means we're going to get even more studios in good shape. They're invested in. And we can feel pretty good about that. So moving on from that. That was huge news today. We also got the Game Awards date was announced. Yes, that's on the thumbnail, you guys. If you stumbled it in here, we got the Game Awards. They were announced. It's going to be December 9th. That is the day after Halo Infinite releases. That's going to be absolutely crazy. What a big week for games that week, right? You got Halo Infinite, you got the Game Awards. You're gonna have a lot of cool stuff happening. It's gonna be freaking exciting. How's it going, Crazy Louie? How's it going, Rick Payne? How's it going, Shizno? Thank you guys for stopping in, saying hello. If you guys end up liking this, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. So yeah, the Game Awards, December 9th. And just like last year, we'll be streaming the Game Awards as well, and doing reactions and all that kind of stuff. Last two shows were excellent. And I'll even go in to say that the last other show that Jeff Keighley did was actually really good as well. So he's kind of stepping up as far as the quality of the announcements that get made on some of his shows. I think the opening night live went really well. There was a lot of cool stuff there. And then also the last two Game Awards shows I saw from them were really good. Xbox even revealed the Series X at the Game Awards, and then last year Perfect Dark. Or I don't remember what was all there. I mean, it's just like lots of awesome stuff. So Game Awards December 9th, everybody. If you want to see our takes and our reactions, watch it there live here on this channel, because we'll be streaming it as well. So lots of cool stuff there. Now I want to get into some of this Xbox and TGS news that was dropping like crazy, and just kind of go over some of the stuff, because there's a lot of stuff, right? And we're not gonna have time to go over everything tomorrow on Xbox Ultimate Podcast. So Xbox Cloud Gaming is launching in 4 more countries starting tomorrow. That's Japan, Australia, Brazil, and Mexico. Right? So that's big news. I mean, Japan is one of the reasons why a lot of people thought this was going to be a successful thing in the first place, because they got excellent internet in Japan. You got a lot of people that play mobile in Japan, right? Mobile games are very popular. A lot handhelds are very popular. So cloud gaming seems like a good fit for that market. So it's a big deal finally getting cloud gaming in Japan with Xbox. So they doubled down on that though. And it's not just Japan, it's Australia, Brazil, Mexico, but there's also more. Coming along with that announcement, Scarlet Nexus is going to be in Game Pass. I think that's available as of today. Then they have some other games like a Mighty Goose Game. You got AI Somnium Files, Back for Blood that we know is coming to Game Pass. Um, yeah, there's just a lot of cool stuff, right? And not only that, but we know Scarlet Nexus is going to be available on console, PC, and cloud gaming. So how about that to kick it off in Japan with Scarlet Nexus available with cloud gaming? That's a good move, right? I think it's a good move. We're gonna see. Then also we have as Rick was just alluding to, yeah, Bethesda has full Japanese localization for Starfield. Now that was really cool in of itself, and not only that, but Redfall as well. But there's even more news beyond that. It was the amount of dialogue that they announced was going to be in this game. You have 150,000, over 150,000 lines of dialogue. That is way more than Fallout, any Elder Scrolls game previously. So Starfield is looking to be this just absolutely massive, monumental feat with games. Like I can't wait to see what they've done with this. What's up, Sour Blow? What's up, Matt Byrnes? What's up, Outbreak? How are y'all doing? Um, it's absolutely insane. And this has been a weakness with Xbox that people have like complained about for a long time about localization, making things better for different parts of the world within the ecosystem. It's a way you're gonna bring in more of your more of an audience there, right? Like they need to have this stuff. They need to get this stuff done. So to have those two big games coming out in 2022 are going to have that full localization from Japan should only help things. And then also you can expect those games are going to be available with cloud gaming as well. That's just really good stuff there. Then the other cool news, you talk about this might as well have been a Bethesda show, right? Because you got that news breaking the news of 150,000 lines of dialogue, right? You got that. You got full localization. You got Redfall. But then they go on and Shinji Mikami comes and he shows up and he's like, "Hey, guess what? You know, we're also working on our next game, not just Ghostwire Tokyo." So this Bethesda's ZeniMax acquisition is already like showing huge payoff, knowing that they've already got something in the works, and it's being led by the Evil Within 2 game director John Johannes, I think is how you say his name. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry. But hey, that's absolutely huge too. Already another Tango Gameworks game in the works, and they're somebody that we had usually thought of as like a one game studio, and now even there have two games in the works at the same time. So these studios are like, they're hard at work, and the future just keeps looking brighter for Xbox and Game Pass. So good news all around for gaming today, right? I mean, this is just a it's a freaking Thursday, right? Right now it's 1:25 p.m. my time, and we've already gotten this flood of stuff today on a Thursday. It's usually doesn't happen, but that's what happens when you have Tokyo Game Show, right? So to recap this day so far, and I'm sure I'm missing some stuff. What's up, Phasma? How are you doing? Game Awards announced December the 9th. Super excited for that. Bluepoint is acquired by Sony, and they are working on an original game. Heck yeah, more new IPs. Now I do like Bluepoint's remasters as well. So I hope that Sony just doesn't stop doing those, because I think there's some games that like we would really like to see. But at the same point, like Bluepoint's a legit studio that deserves that opportunity to create their own thing. And I think that's what they want to do, and I think they're going to do that, and they could end up surprising a lot of people, right? They could end up surprising a lot of people, because the remakes and remasters that they've done have been really well received and look amazing, right? So let's see what they can create, right? If the and hope maybe they can grow into a second team where they can do remasters and stuff too. I don't know. I don't know how that stuff works, but Bluepoint was a great acquisition for Sony. And to keep recapping, we got the xCloud Gaming launching, the Xbox Cloud Gaming launching in Japan, Australia, Brazil, and Mexico starting tomorrow. Just like so many people are going to have access to games without even having to own a console. Right? I mean, that's just insane. So hey, let's see how much they use it, right? I think it's perfect for Japan, where they have the excellent network and all that stuff. I'm really curious to see, because initially when they announced this was going to be a thing, one of my first thoughts was, hey, this will help Xbox in Japan. So we're going to see, is it actually going to help Xbox in Japan? Is Scarlet Nexus launching on Game Pass now? Not launching, but coming out on Game Pass now, as well as the cloud gaming in Japan. Is that going to help? I think it could. What up, 3-Bit? How you doing, dude? Then again, recapping localization for Starfield and Fallout. I mean, Starfield and Redfall. Like, full localization. This is Xbox learning from past mistakes, taking a step forward. Bethesda seems like they're leading the way again with some of this stuff. Like, Bethesda is just coming out strong. Like, you see why Xbox was so interested and needed this whole publisher, right? Because a lot of this news, a lot of this amazing stuff is coming from Bethesda ZeniMax. Hey baby, I see you there. I'm sorry. What's up, babe? Love you. Guys, I'm seeing it in the chat. Siphon Filter would be amazing. There's a hole in the market for stealth action games right now, like stealth third-person action games. Let's get it. You know, Splinter Cell, Metal Gear, Siphon Filter. I don't care what it is. I just want something. And then the Tango GameWorks news, working on another game besides Ghostwire Tokyo. Just amazing stuff. Now, what would this be though without a little fun, right? So we're after recapping all that, I want to have a little fun, and also 3-Bit just gave me another rumor in the chat. So shout out to 3-Bit, dude, because he just said that Jeff Grubb had rumored that Hellblade 2 was going to be at the Game Awards. That would make a lot of sense, because Hellblade 2 was actually at the Game Awards when the Series X was revealed 2 years ago. That's when we originally got that amazing Hellblade 2 trailer that blew a lot of people away. Is it time to see it again? I think it could be. That would make a lot of sense. Bring it back to the Game Awards again. Give something to people to make them be blown away. And if Jeff Grubb, I haven't seen him say that, but I'm assuming it happened recently or something. So if that's what he said, I always have faith in the Grubb, right? So I we'll see. You know, I'm really curious about that. But like I said, guys, what would this be with that little fun? So, you know, we always talk about acquisitions and rumors and all this kind of stuff, right? So I'm going to show you 2 images, and you just let me know what you think, right? This is now. I'm not saying this means anything, but it's just fun. Okay. All right. So I'm going to show you 2 images, and you tell me what you think. Do you notice anything? Do you notice anything from these images? Abu D, Abu dot. No, okay. Like, I'm not saying there's anything to that, but that's like the same color, right? That's the same shade of blue. Like, I'm curious if it's like the exact same color, right? Blue's not their color. I've never seen those dudes wearing that color blue before. Now, I'm not you know, Sega. You know, okay, come on, right? Do y'all see it? Is that a coincidence? Am I going crazy? Is that just a fun thing, or do you think there's something to it? Because you know, Todd had the Raiders of the Lost Ark. He had the Ark of the Covenant behind him on that shelf, right? You know, Phil Spencer's always got the shelf thing going on, but you know, it's a little, you know, he doesn't need to be wearing a jacket inside, guys. You know what I mean? Like he's inside. Is it cold in there? Has he got to be wearing that jacket? Is it necessary? You know? I don't know. Bluepoint was definitely not acquired by Xbox. Siki. That's a good one. And then we got, you know, Todd. Come on, like I've never seen them wear that color blue for like Bethesda gear before. That's a little strange. And like this is not a very common color blue, I wouldn't think. You know, it's just too on the nose. Is that all on the nose for you guys? I don't know. Maybe I'm going crazy, but it's fun to look at that kind of stuff, right? Um, what's going on, sausage? How's it going? So, what do you guys think? You think I'm going crazy here? You think there's something to the blue, or you think there's nothing to it at all? You know, put a one in the chat if you think there's something to this blue mystery. Do you think there's a blue mystery going on? Come on, what's going on with this? No, I'm I'm semi kidding. I saw it and I was like, hey, that doesn't fit. Todd Howard, that's not his color. You know, I don't think he's always wearing those maroon like leather jackets, you know, like black leather jackets, tan leather jackets, you know. Phil's always got the black and the dark colors going on, you know. He's always trying to look cool. He's got this like blue jacket on. It doesn't fit his style, you know. It's not his style. Todd, that's not his style. Like remember last time we saw Todd, he had that cool leather jacket on. You know, I don't know about this. You know, like this rocking this blue T-shirt. Right? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe there's not. It's fun to think about. Um, but that rumor about Hellblade 2, I'm curious. Now I want to also think about this. Right? We know the Game Awards is December 9th. Besides Hellblade 2, what else could we see? Like what could potentially win Game of the Year? I think Xbox has a stronger chance than ever to have a presence at the Game Awards this year with more than just reveals and announcements. I think they have a strong chance at having multiple games up for nominations. You can see Forza get nominated for something. You can see Deathloop, which is a Bethesda even though the PlayStation exclusive is still an Xbox Game Studio game. You could see that nominated. You could see Psychonauts 2 nominated for something. You could see a lot of different things. You could see other games, maybe like Death's Door or something like that, nominated for something, or where that was on Xbox. So hey, you know, lots of possibilities too. Now, other than Hellblade 2, is there another game that they have in their hand that they could show off? Either another surprise. I see people saying Avowed. Avowed, that could be ready to show Avowed. I think that would be pretty cool. You could see, I don't know, man. Like, it's the day after Halo comes out. Do you think they'll do anything at the Game Awards for Halo, or do you think they're gonna save that? Now, here's the other thing you got to think about with the Game Awards and Xbox's announcements and stuff. Xbox may be doing something for their 20th anniversary this year. I personally would be surprised. Like as an Xbox fan, as somebody that's been involved with the Xbox ever since the OG Xbox came out, I not only will be surprised they don't do something, I'll be a little disappointed personally, if they don't have some kind of celebration, right? Some kind of celebration of Xbox and some kind of show, and they have a couple cool announcements there. It's not just Xbox's 20th, it's also Halo's 20th. I would hope they're planning on something besides just selling merch and stuff that says 20 on it. Like, I would hope to see some kind of like actual celebration show, and they have some cool reveals at it. Uh, maybe like showcase the future of Xbox and also celebrate the past at a showcase, and especially Halo, and maybe that's where we will see the biggest glimpse of Halo campaign before it actually launches. If that all happens, we may not get as big of stuff at the Game Awards because they will be having stuff for that, but maybe they'll save something for Jeff, right? They've been saving stuff for Jeff, you know, the last couple shows he's had. So maybe they'll give him a good piece here. Maybe Hellblade 2, like you guys said. There can't be anything for Xbox anniversary. Yeah, I agree. I personally, guys, my take on the whole Take-Two situation, right? I see a lot of talk in the chat right now about Xbox and Take-Two. I don't think the blue stuff has anything to do with Take-Two, and I don't think Xbox is acquiring Take-Two. I think that whole thing was just hearsay based on like people wanting it or just thinking of something huge. But I haven't seen anything out there that actually leads anybody to think that this would be like a reason why Take-Two would want to sell to Xbox or need to. Like, Take-Two is like doing really well. They're doing really well. And it would take a lot to acquire that studio. Not studio, publisher. It would just take a ton, right? You're talking about, if their valuation of 18 bill, you're talking about maybe having to cough up like 33 plus, right? Not only that, when they were doing the grill interview, when Strauss Zelnick said that the 30 million Game Pass subscribers and all that stuff, it talks in a way that he doesn't want to bring their games day one to Game Pass. That was in that interview, also in a past interview. And to me, if he was part of this acquisition thing going on with Take-Two and Xbox, and this is happening, then I don't think he would be putting out that kind of vibe about Game Pass and Take-Two's stance on not having their games come out day one. For me, he would be more just embracing that potential, right? He did say that he's open-minded to the possibilities because they want to be where the consumers are, and the 30 plus million subscribers is no slouch, right? But he's talking in a way that their decision is based on their own interest, and their own interest is to have their back catalog on Game Pass, but not their games day one. And he's had that stance before, and he reiterated it again in that interview. So that doesn't come across to me as somebody that's like about to have their publisher, their whole thing acquired, right? It just doesn't seem like that to me. However, there have been comments from other people that work for other studios that have led me to believe possibilities just in their language. Like when we saw the head of Avalanche talk about working on a first party game, and like a lot of things like that. Like it's almost like a test thing for them working with Xbox here, and they're gonna see how it all works out potentially, and they could end up becoming part of Xbox in the future. I think there's more of a possibility with that. I think there's a possibility of Square Enix severing ties with some of their Western developers, like Eidos Montreal, like Crystal Dynamics, who we know right now is working on Perfect Dark. I think Perfect Dark is in good hands with Crystal Dynamics and the initiative. But I think it's weird from Square Enix's perspective to held more value in them getting a check and making a game for Xbox than making a game for themselves. Now this has happened before, right? Like Creative Assembly worked on Halo Wars 2, right? They're owned by Sega. So this happens. You know what I mean? This is not like something that's crazy out of the ordinary, but you see it more from studios when they don't. It's like they don't really know what their next project's going to be, or they don't really know what they're doing with the studio, or they haven't been successful before in the past, or so they're using the studios in these unique ways, and a deal gets struck between Sega and Xbox before for Creative Assembly, and now you got a deal being struck between Square and Xbox for Crystal Dynamics to have them work on Perfect Dark. So who knows where that's going, but there's potential that relationship could already be there because of talks and negotiations. We know that money changed hands to make this deal happen, or it could just be something that's going to get stronger, and they're testing things out again to see if it's a good fit for both of them. These things take time. There's a lot of things in the works, but I think there's something to this stuff, guys. Like this blue stuff, guys. Come on, this blue. Look at all that blue. There's just blue everywhere. There's blue. It's blue. I don't know what that means. There's nothing to it, probably. But yeah, Crazy Louis makes a good point in the chat. He says Satya said that they're focusing on Xbox because Xbox is now central to Microsoft. It's actually core to what Microsoft is doing, and they're going to keep investing in gaming and Xbox as it's such a crucial focal point with the Microsoft brand and technology and services and all this stuff, right? And it was funny to me still how people see them as such a negative when they're leading the way with so much service for gamers right now. When you talk about cross play between Xbox and PC, cross progression between Xbox and PC, cross platform play, they led the way with that, putting pressure on other publishers, other platform holders to go along for the ride. Then you got Game Pass, which gives access to all these games. Then you have FPS boost. You got the full backwards compatibility on the platform. You got auto HDR. You have Dolby Vision. Now you have cloud streaming on mobile, PC, console, and seamless across all devices. Right? They're leading the way with all this stuff, and somehow people get triggered when they acquire somebody, or when there's a rumor of them acquiring somebody, saying, "Oh, nobody wants that. They're bad for the industry. They're bad for this, bad for that. We just want to pay $70 and buy our games on our platform that has less services and features." It doesn't make sense to me, right? So for me, I'd rather stuff potentially go to a platform that's more open and consumer oriented, and has a better value right now. Not only that, is also you can get a better experience because it's more powerful currently. So great games on all platforms. But if you also look at what Nintendo's doing, which is the other thing I meant to put in the headline here, but I really wanted to get into this. Nintendo is got some interesting stuff going on, because you want to talk about PlayStation and Xbox and all these things. Both of them have different models, and both of them are fine with the things that they're doing, right? But Nintendo gets a free pass sometimes, right? And I personally, I get sick of it a little bit. The free pass that they get. You see, I got my Switch right here, right? I barely play it now. I barely play it because games look like ass. I'm just afraid, straight up say it. Like, I don't enjoy playing in handheld mode because it's a small screen, and when I play in docked mode, I get crappy frame rate, crappy resolution, and the games look like they did 15 years ago. If I want that, I'll play on my Xbox 360 that I have over here as well, right? I don't want a new experience to feel like a retro gaming. Well, the thing is that they do have new hardware coming out this year in the Switch OLED. Well, unfortunately, the Switch OLED is not increasing the power at all in the Nintendo hardware, which for me is crazy because it was outdated when it launched, and it's even more outdated now, and they are severely in the need. Now, this news that came out yesterday from Bloomberg was absolutely bananas because supposedly there was like 11 that they know of, which means there's probably more. 11 developers and publishers, including one of them they even named, and that was Zynga Games, was working on. They had dev kits for 4K Switch supposedly, and that they were working on making games for a potential 4K Switch, right? And then when this whole Switch OLED was announced, it was a big surprise. Like what? And these devs have been working on these games, and they don't have a device to launch it for now, except for the Switch OLED, which means they basically have to redo optimizations, all this stuff. I'm kind of guessing and speculating that's how it works with them. But according to that Bloomberg report, seemed pretty negative, right? Then Nintendo comes out almost immediately and denies it, right? They say this is false. They say that the report's inaccurate, that there is no 4K Switch announced or coming. Now, what people are calling Nintendo out, saying that they're lying. This 4K Switch has been rumored for a long time, and it just makes sense that there would be something like that, right? It just makes sense that there would be something like that. Like it was time. Like it was time. We've had the same device now that's like it's a handheld gaming device, right, guys? Like you can plug it into your TV, but it's hamstrung by the size and portability. Now, if you update it to current standards, you can get 4K and all that stuff. You're talking about better potential for the games going forward, and people can get more excited about these games that get announced, right? Knowing that they're going to have better capabilities and all this kind of stuff. But when that was a potential thing, and like I said, Nintendo denies it, so I don't know who's true, who's not. So either Bloomberg got wrong information, or Bloomberg is lying, or Nintendo is lying. It's a weird thing, right? Personally, I'm just down on their whole path right now until they come out with a better device that I can be excited to play games on. But I just found that whole story to be one thing exciting. When I saw that they potentially were coming out with that in 2022, I was like, oh, heck yeah. Finally, right? Something to make the games more capable and look better. But when the other report came out and said they were lying, or the report is inaccurate, it's like, okay, well, who's right here? Like, it doesn't make sense, because if on one hand, like, for them to do the Switch OLED and potentially come out with the other one the next year, that's just kind of messed up. Like if they released a Switch OLED this year and then next year they came out with the 4K Switch, I don't know, man. That would be pretty pissed off if I bought an OLED Switch. So maybe that's just me, right? But that wouldn't make me very happy. I don't know anybody that would be very happy if they bought a Switch OLED and then they found out the next year they actually have a true next gen Switch, right? And maybe, but I'm curious. Would you guys be excited for an OLED Switch, or would you guys like put a 1 in the chat if you're buying an OLED Switch, and then put a 2 in the chat if you have zero interest whatsoever. I'm actually really curious about this. Because I have zero interest in the Switch OLED. Two. See a bunch of twos. Two. Wow. So no ones. So nobody that's here right now is interested in the Switch OLED. Now tell me this. If Nintendo announced better hardware that was more capable gaming wise and allowed for better graphics, better frame rate, better everything, would you be excited and would you be interested in buying that product? Put a 1 in the chat for yes. Or we'll do 3s and 4s because I don't want to make it confused. But a 3 in the chat if you would buy that. 4 if you wouldn't. If so, like, let's say it's a Switch 4K that like actually like is more comparable to like, let's say like a Series S, right? Yeah, and people think it's like impossible for Nintendo to think about things differently and do things differently, but I think the demand is there. I think people want a Nintendo device at least as capable as a Series S. That's a good one. Your Switch collects dust now. Don't need a new one for more dust. Right on. Yeah, I would love to see a Switch that has more power, just like more capable, because they can do more with the games, right? You could bring more multi-plats over, and they're not sacrificing everything to get it to play. You could have better services instead of like the announcement they made of like the Nintendo 64 and Genesis stuff. Like that's cool and all, but you compare what that service has compared to like Game Pass. I mean, come on. The 3 is for if you'd buy a more powerful Switch, like or a more powerful Nintendo device that's better, more capable. Lost Forever says they just want a triple dip. Yeah. So I just thought that was interesting because that report and like we got two, like Bloomberg's not like just a random publication, right? You got Bloomberg and you got Nintendo like contradicting each other big time here. Because like it's not every day you see some company like that come out strong and deny something like that. So I don't know what to think of it. But guys, I mean, cool freaking news again today. Like I said, the Game Awards 12/9, Bluepoint acquired by Sony, work on original game. xCloud Gaming launches in Japan, Australia, Brazil, and Mexico starting tomorrow. Scarlet Nexus is hitting Game Pass. Back for Blood also we know about. AI Somnium Files and Mighty Goose as well. There's other ones too. I saw this graphic. Let me see if I have the graphic. Give me a second. I know I have this graphic. I just saw it. Here it is. Yeah, check these out. And these don't even include Avengers. Scarlet Nexus, Astria Ascending, here's Avengers, AI Insomnium Files, Mighty Goose, and Unsighted. Heck yeah. All of these are on cloud, console, and PC. That's pretty cool. So to have those announcements go along with the launch of the cloud gaming in Japan is big. Then you got the localization, Bethesda with Starfield and Redfall, 150,000 lines of dialogue. Yeah, Tango Gameworks working on their next game. Bluepoint is working on original game instead of remasters. You got Phil and Todd's blue shirts. You know, the blue buddies. You know, what's going on with all the blue. But hey, that's and then you got the bad Nintendo stuff. It's like no matter which way you look at it, it's not really great news because either Nintendo's right and they're not coming out with a more powerful Switch, or Bloomberg's right and they're selling an OLED to people this year and next year a 4K Switch. Either way you look at it, it's pretty shitty. You know? So, sup Key, how's it going? But hey, guys, if you enjoy this channel, if you enjoy the stream, tune in tomorrow night. We have Xbox Ultimate Podcast tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, where we're going to talk all things Xbox, have a lot of fun. We'll go more over the Tokyo Game Show stuff. We're also going to talk about some Game Pass news. We'll see who we're going to have as a guest on the show tomorrow. But you all are super appreciated. Shout out to all the channel members for the channel as well. Love you all. Thank you so much. And chat, you guys are awesome for this. So I absolutely love seeing the freaking chat just go off and random impromptu streams, not planned. You know, I didn't plan this. Just went live. Sent out the link. You guys show up. It's freaking awesome, right? Thank you for that. It means a lot. So subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share it out. This has been fun speculation. Mav, thank you so much. You guys rock. Take it easy. Bye.